That's really my, okay.
And like, you just want to be.
Oh, God.
Is this the way you do things? Like you avoid when people try to ask you a real question. This is how you get around it. What's the real question? What exactly is the power dynamic between you and Destiny?
I'm gonna answer your question.
And if you say
I'm gonna try to
kicking
answer
you out of a stream,
I'm gonna try to answer your question, but if you interrupt me, I'm gonna kick you.
With adults, licenses to vehicles or guns. We don't let them vote. We don't let them travel alone. We don't let them sign contracts. We don't let them work jobs.
Okay, please stop.
We don't let them own houses.
We know. We got
okay,
it.
so
there's
you
a
get that,
no,
right?
because this
you
is
know
pathetic.
why though? Wait, no, there's a point though. There's a point. You know why we don't let them do those things, right?
Yeah, because
of the possible negative long-term effects. It's not guaranteed that a kid's gonna develop cancer or even lung problems from smoking, but it's a possibility.
Sex is different than stuff that isn't sex. I think that is just
so your idea is one category is every occupation known to man, and then the other category is sex work. Is that how you're saying it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, sex work is different than every other fucking work. You just said nothing, bro. Come on. I spent a lot of time doing like independent human behavior stuff, and I don't know. I'm fascinated with how people act when they are being deceiving. This Goofy over here talking shit on her. It's because he's mad how fast she blew up. She blew up quick, yo. She blew up quick. And that's the problem. When you do something, when you come into a space that other people are in, people get upset and like they want to cry about it.
If I ever wanted to get canceled, this is the video. I saw Cuties last night and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover and I got clickbait.
Look at that.
You got
That's
clickbait.
a good way to tell someone's lying when you ask them like a question. Oh, so were you doing this? It's yes or no, right? No, I was doing this, and then I went there, and then like you can even, I even did this, and then I had a lot of that, and like they just make up a whole bunch of extra details when all they had to say was.
You're up. You're here. What you got for us? You're muted. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, my bad. 1 second, I was just turning off your stream there.
Okay, what you got?
All right, you guys can hear me? Okay. So I just got a couple quick questions and then something to touch on what you guys talked about earlier. So my first question is, given the amount of kids that use Twitch, do you guys think it's ethical or unethical that Twitch allows for the hot tub streamers?
Why? What do you mean ethical?
Well, do you think this is good for kids to be exposed to?
I don't think it's good for kids to be exposed to hot tub streamers, but I don't think just because they have a hot tub section, that falls on that's not the streamer's fault. The streamer has a certain standard that they should uphold and not let minors in their chat, and they should be aware of that. But I don't think that's just the reality of being on the internet. Like, it's not like you went on PH when you were 12, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you go to the beach and you see girls in even less clothing. Like,
I mean, Hooters. You can go into Hooters.
Yeah.
There's no age range.
People take their kids to Hooters all the time. Like,
I'm pretty sure people don't take their kids to Hooters all the time. And where I come from, we slap dudes that bring their kids to fucking Hooters. What are you talking about? This is crazy. What about this? Like, no accountability.
not great if it happens.
Here's the real cringe shit. Is Twitch doing that and then acting like they have the moral high ground? That's the real problem, right?
Yeah,
like, if
yeah,
you're going to do this shit because, let's be honest, it makes you money, then stop trying to pretend like you're this kid-friendly website that just, like, cares about good, progressive morals. It's just
Isn't that, like, corporations, like, problem in general? Corporations, they're just trying to make money.
Speaking of making money, $20 from No Step on Snick to say she'll harder wick. I will. Okay.
It worked?
Does that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, so basically, okay, to follow up then, do you think that Twitch should have a better way of confirming your age to get into these types of streams?
Maybe, I feel like whatever
Lil Mo, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, like, the parents too hold some responsibility, right? Like,
yes, Lil Mo. Okay, yes, the parents hold some responsibility. You are correct. Yes. When I offer up a solution, as in, should there be an age verification to get onto the website? I'm not saying, well, this is 100% gonna work for every single person. No, but for you to act like it wouldn't lower the number of kids that are able to get into the sites, you're just lying to yourself.
Yeah. My kid probably wouldn't be watching Twitch all day long if they're 11 years old. That just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but Twitch started out as like a kids, like to watch gamers. That's what Twitch started out as, right?
It's not what it's not anymore. But it supports.
Turns out kids don't have money. Yeah.
Yeah, it supports. Yeah, it supports not safe for work, or borderline not safe for work streamers. So.
Yeah, it's a little weird that they banned gambling, but they still have the hot tub streams. So that feels like really inconsistent. Should they have better verification? Probably all sites should for age gating.
But also, like any verification, like come on, like you can't tell me that like short of like sending a picture of your fucking ID if you want to sign up for something that's like 18 plus, you can't like somebody's gonna get around that, right?
Okay, so
that's not to say that it shouldn't be there.
Disappointed in this answer,
but I just think that it's weird that I don't know. I don't.
Kendrick for $10 says Harderwick. Oh, I will shill so hard. I will shill the hardest you've ever seen. You've never had a shill as hard as this. Okay, this is gonna leave you limping for a week. You're gonna have to be rolled around in a wheelchair because it's gonna come so hard. I'm gonna shill so hard for that cash that I'm gonna send you into next week. This is going to become a not safe for work channel. How hard I'm gonna shill.
I wasn't ready, bro.
Deeply uncomfortable, and all of you will leave this chat because you will feel deeply uncomfortable. But my God, will you have given me all your money? I've milked you for all you are worth, and you will be left sopping wet on the floor, just milked entirely of every single penny that you had to offer me. Okay.
I think I'm on the panel because I can't afford this. Holy fuck.
Okay. Anything else from you?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I have your stance on it. I kind of wanted to see what you girls thought about that. So I have another question. Do you think that the females' exploitation of their own sexual form for attention and popularity online has anything to do with the red pill ideology and its popularity?
Are you asking if we think that there's some truth to the red pill ideology because
people were doing sex work way before red pill became popular, though, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't hypersexualized online like it is today. I'm asking you if you think this contributes to the red pill ideology and its popularity.
For sure. I would say,
yeah. If the red pillars are going to take it as a confirmation.
Nobody asked you for confirmation of the red pill ideology. I just wanted you to admit the truth that women contribute to the red pill ideology and its popularity.
One at a time. I want to hear from Sad Kit Kat, then I want to hear from Ice Beans, and then I want to hear from Erudite. Go ahead.
If you view like women doing sex work as a bad thing, and now it's like really, especially because of the pandemic and stuff, and people like hopped on because they thought they could make quick money, and so it's like all over the internet, it's like exploded or whatever. If you view that as being bad, and suddenly it's like all in your face, like I think it probably would push your ideology because it's all you're seeing, right? Like, does that make sense?
Would you agree that most men look at promiscuous women as a bad thing?
Oh, but I mean, I don't know most men. Like, I don't like it's your own, like, if you don't want to be with a promiscuous woman, like, I don't give a shit. I don't know if a woman doing sex work is inherently like promiscuous, but maybe that doesn't make sense. But
wait,
like for me personally, like I like don't post nudes or anything, but I still do sex work. So is that like, am I like promiscuous? I don't know if I would call myself promiscuous.
But do you think men would call you promiscuous? Again, another one who doesn't want to answer because she realizes that if she answers this, then she's going to have to put some accountability on the women for this situation, which, let's be real, they don't want it.
Not all. I mean, I'm in a relationship currently, and I have been for the last 5 years. I don't know.
I know. I'm speaking on general. I'm speaking in general. Most men in general, right? That's what I'm speaking on.
In general? I mean, if you don't know me,
Yeah. Okay.
If you want to make an assumption, probably, yeah. If you want to make an assumption, yeah.
Unfortunately, most men are gonna make that assumption. If you tell a man you do sex work, he automatically thinks you're a hoe. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not most guys aren't understanding like me.
What are your thoughts, Ice Beans? Sorry, I'm blanking on names today. I'm sorry.
I guess look, red pillers are gonna take what they can and confirm their biases, right? No matter how women act. Like I lived in Saudi Arabia like pretty much all of my life, and over there, like as soon as I turned like 13 and started growing breasts, like that was when, like, I remember specifically my dad getting mad at me because we were out in public and he realized
this isn't how the world works. Religion isn't how the world works. I'm sorry. Like, don't use religion as an example, because it just doesn't work here. If we're talking about shit in general over here on the westernized country, why are you bringing up your Saudi religion? I'm sorry. It doesn't fit here in this conversation.
That the religious police were probably going to come up to us and say something. He didn't care that I was wearing a shirt that showed that I was growing breasts. He didn't care about it. He cared about the fact that somebody was going to approach us and give a shit for that. So, was that me being promiscuous? Yes, apparently, according to the Saudi religious police.
See, this right here, this was a classic example of holding no accountability on your own shit. What is this? What do you mean? No matter what women do, they're going to be looked at as promiscuous? You think so? You think that women that don't have sex with multiple men are looked at as promiscuous? They're going to be looked at like this no matter what they do? Come on, let's be realistic here.
So, am I to blame for that? So I think that the same sort of thinking is gonna be applied to any situation that women are, using their sexuality in. Or, consciously or unconsciously. So, that's really...
What you got for us, Erudite?
Yeah.
I mean, I think guys in the red pill overestimate how much other men agree with them. There's plenty of men that don't seem to care. In fact, it seems to be the case that a lot of people...
No, there's more guys now that can't have any care because they don't have the choice of women. Women have the choice of men. Men don't have the choice of women. So when a man's like, oh, yeah, I don't care if she's promiscuous, it's usually because he doesn't have any choice but to date promiscuous women.
Tend to also date within their body count. People just tend to date alike people. The issue with the red pill is you guys are really big about being man sluts and how it's great. And I understand why there's this difference in dynamic. The issue is that the reality is that does turn off a lot of women that have lower body counts. You guys just don't want to think about that. And so there's tons of men that don't really care at all. If she's a sex worker, if she's promiscuous, they're great, she's probably really good at sex and really theoretically she might be more mature in her sexuality than somebody with only one body or zero body count. For some guys, that's a turn off. I think you get to have the preference. There was two questions there. What was the second question that I'm missing?
So the question was do you think that it contributes to the red pill ideology, and if it contributes to its popularity?
Yeah, to some extent. The issue is that I don't think women's sex work is what's specifically directing to it. It's contributing to it now as a descriptive lens with which they view women. But I think the red pill, when I look at its explosion, it's a lot more as a reaction to men's spaces that just talked about real men's issues getting aggressively villainized and destroyed off of the internet, right? We saw that with MRA and we saw that with MGTOW. And we saw that kind of with Jordan Peterson types as well in 2016 to 2018. They got eviscerated, even though they were nowhere near Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit types. And the issue is I think Julie said it, like when things go underground, they tend to like fester and get like very different and worse. And unsurprisingly, men are frustrated that nobody wants to talk about their issues. Nobody wants to talk about their mental health. Nobody's being honest with men about like the actual obstacles that young men have to deal with. Like singleness amongst young men is at an all-time high.
If the status of men being single is on the rise, okay, wouldn't that tell you that women are choosing less of the men that are around? Wouldn't it tell you that maybe it's because there's a lot less fucking winners now? The dominance hierarchy is way harder to climb now. So women see a lot of men as less than. It's pretty easy to put together. Like, I get why your date's answering like this, because I think I know why all of them answered the way they do. They don't want to make it so that the responsibility at all for any of the red pill ideology is on the women. They don't want to put it like this. Just like when we talk about the patriarchy, you know, the women's natural selection is what's put men at the top. Men compete to be in positions that women want them. It's just how it is. If women had to become have like become of great status, or they had to have a lot of wealth, or not even a lot of wealth, just they had to have their shit together. Okay, if women had to have all of this, there would be a lot less single moms. I'm telling you right now. If dudes weren't fucking girls that were broke, or dudes weren't fucking girls that were were fucking losers, if guys weren't fucking these girls, there would be a rise of this shit for women too. But the thing is, most men, especially these days, will fuck anything because they're fucking losers.
And so it exploded, I think, out of that. And then probably like the women's sex work stuff fuels some of that rage, because women are now getting maximal access to something that these young single men like desperately are like angry and hungry for. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. That's my view on it. Obviously, I'm not saying
that's thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah, of course.
Look, all of what's been said, it was really good. Shout out to your date for actually engaging with my fucking questions. Not getting all emotional about it and answering honestly. Well, there was one part maybe you could have answered a little more honestly, I think, but that's what I want to talk to you about. I've had someone reach out to you with a proposition. In the realm of the red pill philosophy, there are certain elements with which I find myself in agreement. As mammals, humans inherently possess psychological dimorphism, which serves to facilitate mate selection. I would like to discuss with you in where we explore these dimorphic traits typically observed in human males and females. Furthermore, I wish to examine how such traits may manifest in a culture characterized by sexual distinctions, and to consider which of these differences should be embraced and which contribute to detrimental behavior, specifically in the form of sexism. I have my Discord in my page. You could come to my Discord, add me to Discord. I will add you back, and we can set it up this way. I think it'd be cool maybe if you had like your husband moderate the conversation, because I've been wanting to meet him too, to be honest with you, and I think we could have some good conversations about it as well. Yeah, so I think this would be a good conversation to have. I think it's needed in the space. As you know, a lot of people obviously label me in the red pill, and I like to tell people that I just have the truth to how the red pill is supposed to be. Because I agree with a lot of it, but I disagree with a lot of stuff as well. So I think this would be a good conversation for people to hear. So if you see this, reach out, and I'll keep reaching out anyways too. And If you made it to here, watching the video, love y'all for being here. See you next time.
Now I'm really on the road, I got the wheels spinning. Now my problems, I don't dodge them, I just deal with them. I say I'm back cause I don't really feel different. They say the good die young and I still living. Back then I gave away my heart, it's still missing. It was eaten by some sharks and I'm still fishing. I'm just aiming for the stars, wanna live with them. I'm just aiming for the stars, wanna. I let Josie rip the beast and I'ma make a ruckus. On the web, they hate on me. In life, they won't confront her.